The Russells are very white.
There goes the neighborhood.
Hello, how are you? Wishing you wellness and success for life. Today, I want to share about the plot of The Woman in the Window. Hope you enjoy and happy listening. In New York City, Dr. Anna Fox, a child psychologist, lives alone. She suffers from agoraphobia and lives with her cat, Punch. For additional information, agoraphobia is an anxiety disorder that involves an intense fear of certain place or situation that might cause panic. In Anna's case, she is extremely afraid of going outside. Her daily life is very boring. Sometimes, she talks on the phone with her estranged husband, Ed, and their daughter, Olivia. Every week, Anna is visited by her psychiatrist, Dr. Carl Landy, who knows Anna has a habit of spying on her neighbor because she has nothing else to do. Anna is also quite stubborn about her treatment, often mixing her medication with wine, even though she knows it's not recommended. Across the street, a new family, the Russells, moves into the neighborhood. As usual, Anna spies on them from her window. One afternoon, their teenage son, Ethan, comes to Anna's house to give her a candle from his mother. At first, Anna is hesitant to accept Ethan. She is very afraid of the outside world, but eventually, she opens the door for him. Ethan enters Anna's house and talks with her. When he realized that his house is clearly visible from Anna's window, Ethan sees his father, Alistair, in kitchen. For some reason, Ethan becomes emotional, and Anna tries to comfort him, suggesting they could become friends. Anna lends him some movies before he returns home.
See you around?
Yeah, see you around.
Anna has a tenant, David Winter, who lives in the basement. David is a good tenant. Sometimes he offers to help Anna, like taking out the trash or cleaning the moldy glass ceiling.
It's dark in here. The bulbs need changing.
I like it dim.
Okay.
On Halloween night, some mischievous neighborhood kids throw eggs at Anna's house. Despite her fears and phobia of the outside world, Anna tries to chase them away, but they ignore her. Anna has to open her front door, but her anxiety makes her faint before she can step outside. She wakes up on her sofa and finds a woman from across the street helping her up. Anna assumes this woman is Jane Russell, Ethan's mother. They sit and chat over some wine. Jane talks about how much she cares of Ethan and mentions that her family is quite complicated, especially her husband. Their conversation is very casual and warm. Jane, who talented at drawing, gives Anna a drawing she made before leaving. Not long after, a man knocks on Anna's door. It's Ethan's father. With a betrothed tone, he asks if any of his family members had visited at night. Sensing something off about him, Anna lies and says no, only mentioning that Ethan had come by a few days earlier to give her a souvenir from Jane. The next day, Anna has another panic attack. Noises from downstairs suddenly scare her, make her think there is a burglar. She calls 911 for help. It turned out to be David looking for some tools. Anna apologized to 911 and canceled her request for help. David shares how happy he is that Alistair offered him a job to do some repairs at their house after seeing his service flyer. That night, Anna plans to take a relaxing bath. Suddenly, she hears screams from the Russell's house. Afraid and confused about what to do, she calls the police, but was only answered by bots. Anna then calls Ethan to check on him, but Ethan says nothing happened and hangs up. Finally, she sees Jane hurriedly leaving the house. Looked like she had been crying. Shortly after, Anna gets call from someone. It's Alistair. He says nothing happened at their house and no one was screaming. Then he hangs up again. Anna goes downstairs to check on David and asks if he heard the screams. David says he was listening music loudly because there was a woman crying in his room, but he didn't hear any screams. Anna took her camera to enlarge her view of Russell's house. Later, Ethan comes to Anna's house. He seems confused and has a hard time explaining. He only says nothing happened at his house and tells Anna not to worry.
This is a safe place. You can always come here.
The next day, Anna appears more delusional. She continues watching the Russell's house. She sees what seems like a huge fight at their house. Even more extreme, she sees what looks like Jane being stabbed in the stomach. Anna panics and calls 911 again, but her explanation is hard to understand. She tries to gather the courage to go outside and help, but her anxiety makes her faint again. When she wakes up, she finds herself inside her house with Detective Little and Norelli. Still half conscious, Anna explains the situation. But Alistair and another woman claiming to be Jane are also there. This Jane is very different from the one Anna met before. Anna was confused. Ethan also appears and denies that Anna ever met his mother. The detective advised Anna not to make false calls, and Alistair scolded her for openly stalking his family. Although embarrassed, Anna stands firm in her belief. She is a bit confused about distinguishing reality from delusion. After that, she doesn't stop. Anna starts investigating the Russell family in internet. She finds out that Alistair once worked at company in Boston but left after the mysterious death of his assistant, Pamela Nazin. Anna anonymously calls the company but hangs up before her identity is revealed. One afternoon, Anna sees a police letter addressed to David sent by mail. When David finds out, he is angry that Anna invades his privacy. He explained that he's on probation for a bar fight and should be in Massachusetts. Anna decides not to interfere anymore. Anna continues her hobby of watching the Russell family. Jane, knowing Anna is spying on them, feels very uncomfortable and calls Anna, threatening to report her to the police. When Ethan visits Anna's house again, Alistair follows and hits Ethan in front of Anna. He orders Anna not to interfere with his family's life.
Stay away from my son!
In the next day, Anna received an anonymous email with a photo of her sleeping. She believed David might have taken it. But after calling the police, Little and Norelli come to see Anna again. David claimed he was out with a woman who confirms his alibi. The Russell's family also shows up for another confrontation, even after Anna shows the drawing left by Jane who she remembers. The conflict peaks when Anna mentions her family. Norelli reveals that Anna's family is dead, and she might be hallucinating about talking to Ed and Olivia, just like with the Russell family. Anna's mind suddenly stops. In a flashback, we see Anna driving with Ed and Olivia in a snowy night. There is tension among them because Anna had an affair. Ed is tired and wants to stop pretending they are okay in front of Olivia. The phone rings, and that couple argues about it until the phone drops. Anna reaches for it, taking her eyes off the road, causing them to swerve off a hill and crash. Ed and Olivia die instantly. Anna realizes her delusion and apologizes to everyone.
I'm so sorry.
Anna's depression seems to reach its peak. she decides to record a last will video before planning to commit suicide. She then noticed a photo of Punch showing Jane's reflection from her memory in a wine glass. Coincidentally, David arrives to say goodbye before moving out. Anna shows the picture of woman she calls Jane to David. David was confused and confirmed that the woman was Katie Melly, Ethan's biological mother. Katie is a drug addict who gave up Ethan as a child and returned to get him back, despite Alistair trying to keep her away from Ethan. Anna wants David to help her tell this information to the detective, but David refuses to get involved with them again. David leaves when there is a knock at the front door. Suddenly, there is a noise and a groan. Ethan enters with a bloody knife, revealing himself as the killer. He admits to sneaking out Hannah's house all week with his key and taking photos of her. He also confessed to killing Katie and Pamela just for the thrill. He wants to see Anna commit suicide. Anna tries to escape and hits Ethan with a wine bottle. Ethan catches Anna, and David tries to slow Ethan down. A fierce fight ensues, but David is fatally stabbed. Ethan follows Anna, who hides on the roof. He stabs her face with a small fork. They fight until Anna puts him into the moldy glass roof, which breaks easily. Ethan falls and dies. Afterward, Anna wakes up in the hospital with Detective Little in her room. He says Alistair and Jane are in custody. Jane admitted everything, showing Anna was right, and the detective apologized. The police also found Katie's body. Little says he saw Anna's will video, but gives her time to delete it before her phone is collected as evidence. 9 months later, Anna moves out of her apartment with Punch, saying goodbye to her past and moving on with her life. So that's the movie plot for today. Have a nice day and stay positive. Share your opinions in the comments. And if you enjoyed this movie recap, check out the Movie This Time for more movie content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.